Hi, I'm Juan Williams in for Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us. Our top story tonight, major developments in the Rush Limbaugh NFL controversy. As many of you know, Rush was dropped from the group that's trying to buy the St. Louis Rams. But now we're learning lots of new information about some of the people who didn't want Limbaugh in the game. For example, NFL Players Association Executive Director DeMaurice Smith objected to Limbaugh. He said that pro football is at its best when it rejects discrimination and hatred. Now, everybody knows that Rush is a huge critic of the Obama administration. But here's something that you probably did not know. Smith worked on President Obama's transition team, and he also used to work with Attorney General Eric Holder. Did you know that? And another man who doesn't like Rush, a talk radio host named Warren Ballentine, was on the O'Reilly Factor with me last night talking about some of Rush's controversial comments. But instead of having a civil discussion, he decided to take a cheap shot at me. Roll the tape.
Let's look at him playing Barack the Magic Negro on his show. And we're going to say, oh, that's just funny, that's just a joke. That's not racial either. I mean, the reality of it is racial to real black people.
Hey, Warren, you were saying that my argument was a red herring. Maybe you should do some research. Go back and find out that it was an article written by a black person, headline about Barack the Magic Negro.
But he made it out of a song and played. He made it out of a song and played it on his show.
So what? He's making fun of it.
Juan, it's okay. You can go back to the porch, Juan. Right.
Did you catch that? This guy told me to go back to the porch. That's code for being an Uncle Tom, house Negro, lazy, a tool of slave owners. Incidentally, Ballentine is proud of having taken a cheap shot as this debate was over and he had nothing else to say. He's bragging about it. A real man would probably apologize, say it was in poor taste, and move on. Apparently, it's okay to use these kinds of racial slurs as long as you're defending what some consider the politically correct point of view. Joining us now from Seattle, Washington, is Pastor Ken Hutcherson, a former NFL linebacker and a personal friend of Rush Limbaugh. And from Los Angeles, radio talk show host Tammy Bruce. Thank you both for coming in. Reverend Hutcherson, let me begin with you. This guy, I mean, if you're a black man and you stand up and say something that's not politically correct, defend a Rush Limbaugh, and you're his friend, you see what they did to me, you must know what they will do to you.
Well, you got to understand something, Juan, and it's very important for everyone that's listening to understand this, and I want to be extremely clear on this. This is extremely personal to me. You see, to you, Juan, this is a news story, a big news story. And to the young lady that's from L.A., you know, this is a news story. This is more than a news story. See, Rush and I are friends, close friends. And when you talk about being close friends, I don't see Rush as a white man. He's my friend. I don't see him as a talk show host, a very famous talk show host. He's a very close friend. That overrides my political views and everything. So this attack is about a friend of mine who is being lied upon, and I don't care what others think about.
Well, let me just say this.
Or anything else.
Let me just say this to you, Reverend Hutcherson. You can also say that a friend is wrong, but in this case, when you don't think the friend is being legitimately criticized, that when you think things are being falsely said about him and you stand up as a black man to say it, well, God help you, God help me, because now we are the targets of attacks and we are made out to be less than faithful to all that's happened to black people in America and honest in our criticism. We're made out to be house slaves.
I'm going to tell you, man, what Warren Ballentine said to you was one of the most racist statements that you could get. The man just flat out called you a house Negro, and I don't know if white America understands the derogatory statement that was. And we should not be able to put up with that kind of rhetoric from the other side who call themselves tolerant. We are conservatives. I'm a Christian. I'm a pastor. I lead a very large church. And what they are doing to Rush, this isn't about just Rush. This is about attacking conservative values in America, and I'm not going to put up with it because he's a friend, and I'm not going to put up with it because he's...
Now, Tammy Bruce, let me come to you, because I think